In this video, we're going to cover how to use VBA to copy formatting from one cell to another. There's multiple ways to do this. I've got two different ways written out in code already to show you two different ways to do it. The first way I actually do not recommend. This is where you actually would copy and paste. So it would emulate what you would do if you would do Control C, and then if you were to paste special, the code does values. And then if you were to paste special again, it would do the formats. And you would get it to come over. So the code is doing the exact same thing. The reason I do not like this is because this can cause issues. If you have a long-running macro where you want to do things in other applications while it runs, often what might happen is you may be in, say, Outlook or Word. You go to paste something and it will paste in this instead of what you just copied, because this is just using the clipboard. The clipboard is shared between all the applications that you have open. So let's just see it run though. So let's just step through. You can see it copying and then it's pasting special values. Obviously this is text, so it really doesn't matter. And then it pastes that. I could, in this case, because it is just text, I could just paste it special without any of that, and it would automatically copy all that over. So let's just watch that. So if I was to grab that copy again, but just do this row, this line of code, it would paste it exactly how we want it. Again, I showed the paste special value just because that is something that's often used when people want to take numbers and not have the formulas copying over. But of course you can do that as well. This next example is where we're going to actually move the data without copy and pasting. This is a lot more stable, but this also has its challenges because, as you can see here, it's a lot more lines of code that it takes. This, in this case, is because there are so many things set up in this cell with different, you've got font color, you've got the interior color, you got lines or borders, you've got the number format. Again, this is text, so it really doesn't matter, but I wanted to show it. So you could end up with multiple lines of code. You could, of course, do this in a range. It could make it easier depending on what you're trying to do. But I find that doing this kind of movement of formatting is a lot more stable. If it is a standard format, of course, you could just do this through the values. So instead of doing number format, again, this is text, you could just do text. Or instead of doing font, you could just call it the font that it is currently set at with Calibri. Size, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead. So here in C3, I've put in the value that was in A1. Now I'm going to move over the number format, which you can't see a difference because obviously this is just a text. Then I change the font. I change the font color. I change the interior color, and I add the borders. So these are the values, these are the settings that I want. There are obviously, though, a lot of different values that you can set on this. So if you were to look at this cell in the watch, you can see all the different values that you could set. There's width, there's height, there's formatting, there's all sorts of different things that you could be setting on this. So depending on what you need, again, that's where sometimes the copy and paste does come in useful, but you should know what your values are going to be. So you know it's going to be yellow, you know it's going to be red, you know it's going to have a border, and then you can just set that or copy it. So you can do either one.